My dear students, hope you all are fine and safe. Today let us start new chapter of history, that is end of colonialism and the Cold War. India and Pakistan became independent nation states in August 1947. Within 30 years of the end of the Second World War from 1945 to 1975, all the countries of Asia and Africa became independent nations. Indonesia gained freedom in 1945, India and Pakistan in 1945, Burma and Ceylon in 1948. China became independent republic in 1949. At the same time, other East Asian countries such as Korea and the Philippines gained independence. First, political power in the colonies lay in the hands of the imperialist powers. Second, the colonies were economically exploited. Third, the people in the colonies taught them to see themselves as uncivilized. Colonialism could end only after the people of the colonies were able to achieve political and economic freedom and regain their self respect by liberating themselves culturally. We learned in the previous chapter that Britain, France, Holland, Portugal, and Japan were the dominant imperialist countries that established their countries in America, Asia, and Africa. Let us discuss about international political scenario after the Second World War. Countries like Europe, France, Holland, Britain, Japan were dis- disrupted by the Second World War, and these countries had to take support of the United States of America, USA, to rebuild their economic condition. After the war, the USA and the USSR emerged as the two most powerful countries in the world. Before the war, colonies like India were economically indebted to Britain. But during the war, Britain took huge loans from its colonial government in India to sustain its war effort. Thus, instead of Britain getting resources from India, it was also redebted to India. The Second World War was a global battle. Uh, the Second World War was a global battle. Weakened by the war, the European countries could no longer bear the economic burden of retaining their colonies. This task was made easier because they were handling power to help them to administer their colonies. These classes included local kings, landowners, wealthy merchant, and the educated middle class. Soviet Russia began extending support to political parties in the colonies that followed communist and socialist ideologies and wanted to guide in fundamental social change through a people revolution. In those days, the countries of the world were divided into two power blocks, one block compressed as the USSR and its allied countries. USSR extended its support to revolutionary movement in China, Vietnam, Korea, and other countries. It also extended its support to communist parties, countries like India and Indonesia. This global competition between USA and USSR had a marked impact on the decolonization process. Both countries ended the colonial system and see the colonies gained their independence. But Russia and America extended large loan to the newly independent countries. We can see that the Second World War created a situation in which the imperialist countries were left with little choice but to grant independence to their colonies. But at the same time, these newly independent countries found themselves caught up in the competition between the two superpowers. Now our next topic is about nationalist movement in the colonies. During the colonial period, almost all the colonies were affected in some way or other. For example, India witnessed Adivasi and peasant revolts. 1857 revolt, Santhal uprising, 1910 Bhumkal revolution in Bassar. Telangana presents uprising from 1946 to 1950 and so on. These revolutions were important for two reasons. First, they challenged the colonial power even if they were not successful. Second, they challenged the intellectual colonialism. Apart from these armed revolution, worked traders and educated middle class launched movement to seek their demand. In India, the nationalist movement picked up steam after 1905, reaching its peak during the Second World War in 1942. It became clear that India would gain its independence from British rule sooner. The national movement in the colonies faced many challenges. The people in most of the colonies were divided into small communities on the basis of tribal, caste, language, region, and religion. The methods used to bring the people together on the common platform. For example, in India, English language and the print media played a key role in unifying the people. The second challenge was that the prominent nationalist leaders in the colonies were mostly educated. As a result, they were influenced by the democratic, liberal, or communist ideologies. On the other hand, the common people were mostly traditional and followed the traditional practices. So, most of the national movement were influenced by these two things. On the On the other hand, those wanted to propagate a nationalist spirit based on modern education. On the other were those who wanted to promote nationalism based on traditional values and religion. Thank you, children. We will continue our remaining topics in our next class. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much.